Now, Donald Trump Jr. is a pretty loathsome guy. At a recent rally in Florida, Fredo decided to mock former Vice President Joe Biden over a recent pledge to cure cancer. Let's take a look.
Joe Biden comes out, well, if you elect me president, I'm going to cure cancer. Wow. Why the hell didn't you do that over the last 50 years, Joe?
Oh, man. Got him. You got him. No, why weren't you doing anything about it? Why weren't you doing anything about it? I have some thoughts about this, okay? I've got two different strains of thoughts, right? So one is on Joe Biden and the other is on Don Jr. So let's start with Joe Biden since he's the subject of this, right? For one, Joe Biden, please stop. Just stop. Why do I say that? It is deeply cynical to talk about wanting to cure cancer, which you said it at your event, and I can understand the personal circumstances of why. But it's cynical to talk about it while our current healthcare system, most people would not be able to afford your cure. And let's be honest with that. New cure for cancer comes out, what is it going to be? $5,000, $10,000? It ain't going to be free, and it's not going to be covered by a lot of insurance companies. So this will be a way to milk more wealthy people who have cancer to milk more money from them, while poor people, of course, will die. That is our current healthcare system. So please, Joe, don't talk about that since you don't have a plan to make healthcare affordable. And really, the only plan here that will actually work is a Medicare for all single-payer healthcare system. The only system that is moral is Medicare for all, and Joe Biden is against that. So let's just show that, right? Let's just kind of settle that. That's the fact, right? Those are facts. Now, despite that, I get it, right? My dad's a cancer survivor. Thank goodness for that, but not everybody's that lucky. Joe Biden, not that lucky, lost his oldest son. And again, I feel for him on that, right? And he said, a lot of you understand what loss is and when loss occurs. You know that people come up to you and tell you, understand. If you lose a husband, a wife, a son, a daughter, a family member. That's why I've worked so hard in my career to make sure that I promise you that if I'm elected president, you think the single most important thing that changes America, we're going to cure cancer. Now, again, if he's working towards that, it's a worthy goal, but you can't work on that and continue to have this for-profit healthcare system in place. It doesn't work. It doesn't function. So, look, he is deeply disconnected. He's out of touch, right? So that's my criticism of Joe Biden. Now, Don Jr., I'm going to get much more harsh on him. What the hell is wrong with you? So you're going to make fun of somebody who lost his son to cancer. What? Why haven't you been doing this for 50 years? Well, maybe he was, jackass. What were you doing for 50 years? No, you're grifting with daddy. That's what you were doing. No, Don Jr. is a gross person, right? These Trump people, they've got no morality. They're terrible through and through. And so, funny enough, later that night, just to show you how deep and depraved the whole Trump family is, Donald Trump Jr.'s father, President Trump, had this to say at his rally.
We will push onward with new medical frontiers. We will come up with the cures to many, many problems, to many, many diseases, including cancer and others. And we're getting closer all the time. We will eradicate AIDS in America once and for all, and we're very close. We will lay the foundation for landing American astronauts on the surface of Mars.
Really? That happened that night. The same rally. We're gonna cure cancer. We're gonna eradicate AIDS with science and then put people on Mars. There's no self-awareness, man. This is a guy who also didn't believe that that we should use vaccines. No, he's saying we're going to use science to cure cancer and AIDS, but I also don't believe in vaccines. Oh, come on, man. There's no shame here. He doesn't care about curing cancer or any of that. No, he's making fun of Joe Biden, both him and his father, right? And again, actually, by extension, anybody who's had cancer, they're rubbing it in, man. They're rubbing it in. Oh, I'll have a great healthcare plan in a couple of weeks. No, you're not going to have a great healthcare plan. Your last healthcare plan was a disaster, but you had nothing to do with it. Almost nothing, because you don't care about policy. You're a one-pager kind of guy. You don't read anything. You don't research anything. All you do is just talk out your ass every single day while you're campaigning. There's no actual plan. I remember during his campaign, his first one, he said, we're not going to let people die in the street with our healthcare plan. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to cover everybody, and it's going to do it cheaper. You know what he just described? Medicare for all. He described a single-payer system. He also praised the Australian single-payer system. And then later on said, oh, we're not going to have socialism in America. He has no idea what he's talking about. None. Just none. Now, look, I criticize both Biden and Trump Jr., of course. While Biden is so completely out of touch and basically a Republican, right, and pro-corporate and part of the political Democratic establishment, Trump is worse because he's just flat out cruel. And the cruelty is the point when it comes to the Republicans with Trump. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. And they're rubbing it in your face. If you really wanted to cure cancer, by the way, you would fund science and health research. You know what happened in Trump's budget? They cut all of that. They cut the National Institute of Health. They cut research and funding into all of that stuff. Why? So they could pay for tax cuts for the rich. If you actually want to cure cancer and you want to help improve the lives of regular people, and this is for both Biden and Trump, then you would support Medicare for all and increase funding to the sciences. Because on this, there is no middle ground. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.